While some might say that AI is just another fad that has captured Wall Street's attention and it's a bubble ready to burst, we can see actual tangible benefits to AI. AI has been found to be useful in detecting cancer in patients, or teach and assist children with learning disabilities. But of course, most importantly, having the ability to pick good stocks. So researchers at the University of Chicago asked Chat GPT 4 to analyze financial statements and then come up with an earnings prediction for companies, basically putting the computer in the role of a financial analyst. They then compared the accuracy of these predictions to human Wall Street analysts, and the results were very interesting. So it turns out that Chat GPT can make better earnings predictions when used in the proper way. And I will explain how. But first, what does financial analysts actually do? No, not these guys. I'm talking mostly about sell-side analysts at banks. In a nutshell, they use quantitative and qualitative data to get some kind of insight into the health of the business and therefore the future prospects of the company. The result is usually a buy or sell rating coupled with an earnings forecast. So what about a large language model? For starters, ChatGPT could bring value since it is able to fast analyze large sets of data and utilize its large set of knowledge to recognize trends and patterns. But is it useful in this case? So to test this, here's how the researchers used ChatGPT. ChatGPT was given annual financial statements, namely a balance sheet and an income statement. So the researchers only provided the numbers and not any text data like business description or statements from management. Then ChatGPT was simply asked about the direction of the next year's earnings. So what is the result? So the median analyst forecast had a 53% accuracy in predicting the direction of the next year's earnings. This was better than the most naive model, which is that you would just extrapolate last year's earnings move. And this would have an accuracy of just 49%.
Yes! Hell yeah!
For comparison, they also include the median analyst forecasts made 3 months and 6 months after the annual earnings release. And as you expect, the accuracy is increasing. The more information should have been provided to these analysts, right? Including quarterly reports. So where does ChatGPT fall here? When ChatGPT was simply just given the data and then asked for an earnings prediction, the historical accuracy of that approach was pretty much in line with the accuracy of the median analyst made within 1 month after the previous earnings release. But here is why it's important the way you use ChatGPT. It has been shown before that using what's called chain of thought prompts helps ChatGPT come up with better results. So chain of thought means that instead of just asking the large language model the question right away, you instead add more context and you nudge the model to break down the problem into smaller pieces. This mimics the way that we usually solve problems. So using chain of thought prompts kind of induces human-like reasoning. So the researchers used very simple chain of thought prompts before asking for the earnings prediction. So the researchers first asked ChatGPT to identify noticeable trends in the data. And then it asked as well ChatGPT to produce various ratios like profit margins or liquidity ratios. And then finally as well to provide an economic reasoning for why the ratios looks like they do or what could explain the trends. Turns out that this had a major impact on the results. So using ChatGPT with this type of chain of thought prompt increased the accuracy of the predictions to 60%, dominating the median analyst's accuracy in predicting the direction of the earnings. The researchers also made a portfolio backtest of the stocks that ChatGPT said would have large or moderate earnings increases, taking into account the confidence of those forecasts. And using that, they basically found stocks that they put into a portfolio. So that's the blue line here. For comparison, they also created a portfolio of stocks that ChatGPT expected to have a worse earnings forecast. This is the orange line. They also created a long-short portfolio that would outperform the market. What's very common with these academic backtests, there's no transaction costs involved. Even though their balance frequency in this case was annual, there will still be some costs that are not taken into account here. Are there any situations where the analyst makes better predictions than the ChatGPT? Turns out that the analysts were better than ChatGPT at predicting the directions of earnings for companies that were smaller, had more leverage, and had negative or volatile earnings. So this is when an analyst's ability to take into account soft and qualitative data into account adds value. Also, the researchers looked at cases when analysts couldn't really agree on their earnings forecast, basically when there was large dispersions in the earnings estimates. In those cases in particular, Chat GPT was more accurate. So all of this points to the idea that Chat GPT and the analyst can be somewhat complementary in some cases. The researchers also compared Chat GPT's accuracy to other methods. First, to a very basic linear regression model. The accuracy shown here, if you remember, is in line with the forecast accuracy of the median analyst made within the first month after the previous earnings release. They also set up a state-of-the-art machine learning model called artificial neural network. Turns out that the accuracy in predicting the directions of earnings using ChatGPT is in line with using this artificial neural network. So in summary, using chain of thought prompts with ChatGPT has been shown to outperform the median Wall Street analysts in terms of accuracy in predicting the direction of earnings. The result is also on par with an advanced machine learning model. Perhaps not too surprising, right, since there is a lot of overlap with these different concepts. However, it is exciting since ChatGPT is far more user-friendly than setting up an advanced machine learning model. And as they say in the paper, these large language models has the ability to further democratize financial information, helping us all to understand more and make wiser financial decisions. Thanks for watching. See you next time. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and drop a like.